Yeah, dog. Looks like we're live. We're live. We're live. Everybody get in the chat and tell me if you can hear it, volume's good, all this and that. Happy Friday, everybody in the crypto space. Welcome to the channel. Don't forget to subscribe, pound the like button, drop a comment, share the stream all over X, all over the place, wherever you may be. Share it with your grandma, share it with your kids, your neighbor, mailman, the FedEx guy, the DoorDash guy, everybody, let them know to tune in. We're live here, and make sure that you help me out with the volume. Let me know that everything's good. I'm gonna check my phone really quick here to send some links out if I get the live feed here. Yesterday was delayed. Oh, there we go. We got the live feed. Okay. So, anyways, guys, we have a special video for you guys today, a special stream, right? And this is officially R2R live stream number 3. The Richard Hart that we all miss, right? The Richard Hart that we all miss. And let me refer to the chat really quick. Yeah, dog, what's up, Jesse Hassel? Jesse, can you tell me, can you hear me? Is all systems go? Are we good here? Are we good? Got a Raja Sadiq Khan. I hope I said your name right. Yeah, dog. Thank you for joining. We're going to this video. Listen, I have made my points. I've gone out there and publicly said, why I feel certain ways about, what Richard Hart has done as far as the entire ecosystem and not embracing it. I've given my opinions, and I've got a lot of mixed feedback. A lot of people agree. A lot of people, disagree. But I think, at the end of the day, I am a huge investor in Pulsechain. And I have been, and I've, on multiple wallets and different entries and different stories. And, I gotta give you a piece of what I go through with those videos, and then I gotta piece together what builds, my conviction and my confidence and what gets me by. And it's that we miss Richard Hart, right? We miss those live streams. Can you imagine if Richard Hart was live streaming and we were getting all that alpha, all that fire that we're used to getting on a weekly basis, just the confidence. And I go back in time and I watch clips of him to understand the way he thinks during market conditions, whether they're extremely bearish or bullish. And one thing I'll say about Richard Hart, man, is he talks about cryptocurrencies over time, from the inception of Bitcoin to Ethereum, which happen to be the two cryptocurrencies, like the top 2 best performing assets in existence in the entire universe, to, spring out of nowhere and just do tons of X's. And he talks about when these assets, these digital assets, make these type of parabolic runs, they have massive corrections. And he goes out there and talks about the 85 to 95% dips, even 99% dips, and talks about the volatilities, the price you pay for mad gains. And he's educated from day one people about this. I feel like founders are like to the moon, and they want to give you all the bells and whistles to believe like this crypto is going to take off, where Richard Hart's like, this is what you can expect. Bitcoin did this many X's, %1,000,000, and then it corrected down this much, and it's in cycles. And I think people were too early on in their crypto careers to know exactly what he meant by that, because they hadn't experienced it, right? And what we're experiencing right now is some massive volatility, which he's talked about. You wake up this morning and Badookin, look at that, $80 down for Ethereum. I think it's important that we talk about Ethereum when we're discussing Richard Hart, because now the entire ecosystem as far as Pulsechain is leveraged on the Ethereum purchase that he did. Let me get some of that coffee right now. Hey, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. I'm pumped up about today because I watched these clips that we're going to watch shortly here to motivate me. And let me jump to the chat. Let me show the chat some love. Thomas G, bring the heat. What's up, Lucky B? Welcome to the channel. What's up, bad boy? Yeah, dog. Welcome. Smash the like button. Get the stream out there. Let people know we're live. Remember, the DoorDash guy brings you breakfast. Let him know Thomas G's live, bro. Talking about Richard Hart and why we miss him. All right. Richard Hart actually did tweet. We take a look at his Twitter really quick. Looks like 7 hours ago. It appears pulsechain.com/buy and hex.com have improved. So he must have added some improvements here, maybe like the how to buy button. I haven't really taken a look into that, but he has talked about from day one on this particular website about how cryptocurrencies, how they perform. What we were just talking about, going from zero to a hero, the volatility, and those are important things that founders out there don't really point these types of things out, right? Let's take a look at the price really quick here. Pulse, 4 zeros and a 332. That's 11.5% in the red. The rest of the market is tanking, right? And this is no surprise. No surprise, but it's been going down, right? Pulse X, 4 zeros and a 166. That's 15.7 in the red. Damn, Gina. I mean, gosh, what is it? If you're in cryptocurrency, man, it's like, how do you just manage your emotions even when you're out in the real world? It's really hard because I'll go out with my kids. I'll give you a prime example. Universal Studios, I'm in a meme token, it dropped like 75%, and I'm just like this standing there in line for, like, my kids want pizza, and I'm like, or I wanted a Krusty Burger or something, and I'm like this, like I'm just in total shock. Trying to enjoy yourself. They're like, Dad, are you there? Dad. My wife's like, Tommy, are you all right? And I'm like, you start to stomach things when you see the price going up. And then when the price is up, you're just like hopping around, clapping, singing, and everyone knows that you're doing good that day. Your family starts to catch on to those emotions. So this cryptocurrency is crazy. It really is. Inc, $1.56, 18.2% in the red. Listen, we're going to keep going further down. My price target for Hex, just like Soda Chronicles said, I'm going to follow him. I don't need to do the work. He's already proven himself, has a great track record. Soda Chronicles on X, I don't know the exact Twitter feed, but we're at 0.0041. He said it can go to 0.003. My target's like 0.0033. Start to unload the truck. Hex is at 14.2%. Let's just take a look at the volume, though. 5 minutes, $3,300 volume. Let's look at the 24-hour, $263,000. So obviously that most of that volume is selling. $122,000 in buys versus $141,000 in selling. Okay. Back to the subject at hand, though. Let me refer back to the chat. Looks like nobody's in the chat here. How many people we got live? 11 viewers. Guys, it's up to you to let them know we're live. All right, we're about to jump into where I go. Like, this is where I get my meditation going on. But I have to have my eyes open for this. But I go, okay, man. Volatility is the price you pay for mad gains. The market's going down. The SEC is at the throat of Richard Hart. You've been following him for many years. He has given you all the messages that you need and to hear throughout all this time to understand that this is what happens. And when cryptocurrencies correct hard, they reverse hard. And those God candles happen. And then a bull market happens. And then you make a ton of money. But it's hard to see and feel that way when all this is happening, right? It really is. I mean, I doubt there's somebody out there who's really like, we're going to go to the moon. Everything's all good. Don't worry. We got this. I'm sure you feel that way. But the way I get there, right? Because I'm just like, oh, man, like, let me buy more. And then it dips more. So now I got a target goal. I think it's going to continue to dip. Fallen Soda, he's the man. Let's take a look at some footage, right? So Richard Hart, man, not only does he make me feel confident when I watch clips like these, but he makes me laugh and he makes me feel good. It brings me back to a time where before I invested in Pulsechain, I was living off the glory of HEX gains, and he was like a crypto, figure that has never impacted my life like this before as far as talking. Like, Satoshi doesn't say anything. Vitalik is super duper weird, to be honest with you. It is what it is. He's like an ultra geek. But then you got Richard Hart, who has like this crazy confident intellect that when he speaks, you're just like, man, I feel you, dog. Like, yeah, I feel you. Let me throw another 3K into that. But let's watch this clip here I think it's the most funniest, one of the funniest clips I've found. But let's listen in. Let me make sure I get the volume, and hopefully you guys can hear.
The price appreciation has forced their portfolio to look like that.
Are you going to start your own chain? Are you going to start your own layer one?
Yes.
Why don't you start your own layer one?
It's already done. I already did that. How dumb are you? Why don't you pay attention? I already have a fork of Ethereum.
Oh my God.
It already is running on testnet. The mainnet launch is in like 45 or 60 days.
Okay.
Yeah, and it comes with all the ERC20s. So there's going to be 10,000 new coins in the world. You might even find that more interesting than HEX. Why don't you already know that? Why don't you fucking like read my Twitter? You literally come to my Twitter, talk shit, and then I come and educate you. And you could have just known this by reading my. Because
all I do, when I research HEX, all I see is price. Dog,
then why don't you click the tech specs page that shows you non-price why it's better than Bitcoin? Or why don't you read the fucking audits? Or why don't you there's so much other shit going on here. You just only notice the price.
It's better than Bitcoin, and in 45 days from now, you're going to have your own chain.
If you guys remember this guy here, he actually was one of the persons that always went on Twitter and talked mad-ish about Richard Hart. Let me check. Can you guys hear the YouTube when we're watching that? Let me double check. Can you guys hear that? Bro, look at Gary Network. Let's see it. So can you guys hear when I'm playing that video? I just want to double check before we go on. Look at Tron. Yeah, I'll look at all that, guys, right now. We'll look at everything after we watch some Richard Hart clips. Just want to make sure you guys can hear the video that we're watching. Hopefully, can anybody give me a thumbs up or a yeah dog that you can hear when we're watching this RH clip? Just want to make sure. Anybody? Yep, we hear. Okay, perfect. Thank you, bad boy. Let's jump into it. So this guy used to talk a lot of ish about him. He actually turned out to be like a scammer. So a real scammer was actually calling Richard Hart a scammer. And then look how that played out. You have to look into that, but let's listen a little bit more.
Okay, so maybe
60.
So you're saying it will be better than Bitcoin once it has its own chain and it's not on Ethereum, right?
No,
because right now it's on Ethereum.
They're not related. You don't know anything.
Yeah.
Is Tether a successful project?
Tether, yeah.
Okay.
Why not?
Did Tether only used to run on Omni Protocol?
Yes.
Did Omni Protocol only used to run on Bitcoin?
Okay.
Yes. Right. How much volume and how valuable is Omni Protocol?
I don't know.
Nothing. It's worth nothing. They do $600 of volume a fucking day.
Right.
But a multi-billion-dollar project ran on them. So explain to me how a wildly successful, more volume than any other coin in crypto, Tether, runs on a coin that's worth nothing. Because
Tether's
the fucking
tied to the US dollar.
Of value, it's the network isn't what matters. The endpoint or what matters. Who makes more money? Amazon, Netflix, or Comcast? Well, you couldn't get your Amazon and your Netflix to the user unless it went through Comcast, but Comcast makes less money because the substrate, the fucking dumb pipe in the middle, is worth less than the valuable fucking endpoint that's closer to the money. Okay. And this stratification of value capture exists in all fucking industries. So this concept that your coin's going to be worth more if you're the fucking layer one is stupid. Because if that were true, Omni would be worth fucking billions instead of Tether. But it's not.
Oh my God. He just wrecked him on. I mean, you got to watch these clips. Go to HEX Pulse Radio, and it's just these people that have always had bad things to say about Richard, and you see one after another on tons of streams where he just wrecks them he just knows more. He just knows more. So now I'm starting to go, and I'm like, okay, I think we're in a repeat of this, even with myself when I had disbelief, where he is being attacked by everybody. But then I got to remember, these people are saying what they got to say, but they don't know more than Richard. Richard in a debate is like Shapiro. Shapiro, you can't debate Shapiro. Shapiro is like the man, the god of debates. And he just wrecks fools. He wrecks them hard, right? This right here is like vintage old school Richard Hart, where I watch these clips and I go, okay, I'm good with my bags. Let me buy more. Right now I'm selling HEX so that I can put it into stables and buy the dip, but different strategies, different wallets. Let me look at the chat really quick here. Smack the like button. Let's go. Look at Tron. Yep, we hear you. Everyone's, yeah, dog. What's up? What's up? Titan X scam. Am I right? Titan X is not a scam. No, I don't think Titan X is a scam. We'll have a dedicated stream with Titan X in the near future. Maybe tomorrow or Monday. Maybe I can have somebody hop on here. We'll see. But these videos make me just remember, it's really hard to dig deep sometimes and find the light in the darkness of a tunnel. And I feel like I'm in this darkness with my HEX bags, right? And every day you wake up, it's like, okay, we've been down. Now the market's down. Now we have more weight on our shoulders, more weight on the price to keep going down. But then you think and you look back and you go, Richard Hart has talked about this happening throughout the history of cryptocurrencies and markets and cycles. And he schools these people who have called him a scammer, who have had bad things to say. And it's like if I go to somebody, let's say, who, they're an airplane pilot, right? And I start to critique, the plane and how they operate the plane. But then this guy's like, well, I'm going to kind of argue this on something that you don't know. And he's going to definitely make me look stupid. I have my strong opinion and voice. But then somebody with the absolute knowledge that's been doing this for years, that knows how this stuff operates from inside out, stomps on you, right? Like everyone who has these influencer voices like Kevin here says what he has to say about HEX. And then he actually goes live at Richard and wrecks him. Wrecks everybody. We're going to watch the Tone Vays one after Kevin here. Let's jump into this footage here, see if anybody's saying anything. LFG, let's go. Okay. All right, let's push play on this one.
Yes. So, they look at this liquidity that you'd have to use for a market sell, and they think that somehow is equivalent to what the actual liquidity is. The actual liquidity for any market is offline. The vast majority of people that would buy a house don't have open orders for houses. The vast majority of people that would sell a house don't have open sell orders for houses. And it's the same for stocks. It's the same for every asset. And everything's gains on paper. Everything. What if everyone sold all the houses at once? They go to zero. What if everyone sells all the stocks?
Hold on. Look at the look on homie's face. For real. Like, I feel like he's going through the interview and he's just like he don't know what Richard Hart is referring to. I think he's glad Richard Hart was on stream because it was a big figure, a lot of controversy around Richard Hart at the time. But he just comes off as like, what? Yeah, I don't know, man. But let's go on. I just want to point that out. I've seen that face. That's like the dumb face. Like, what you just say to me? Let's see.
At once, they go to zero. What if everyone sells the gold at once? It goes to zero, which is why you have to use, this is what I was talking about, the Dunning-Kruger problem. You have to use probabilistic, more advanced thinking. What is the probability that everyone's going to ruin the float and need to sell at once? And you can see that it happens. 85% drops in Bitcoin, in Ethereum, in everything. Everything drops 85% except stablecoins.
Right.
Everything.
Certainly it would take a lot more people wanting to sell if volume were higher to affect a larger price change.
Well, no, it's just those people are richer. It's the same number of people. They're just richer people. Okay. Did you know that only 42%? Did you know only 2,000 addresses holds 42% of all Bitcoin? It's a fact.
I don't know what the exact number is right now, but I'm going to come back.
Just search Bitcoin rich list.
I love that part because this guy's just like, I don't know those exact numbers, Richard Hart. I do. Go to Bitcoin rich list. I've been using the rich list for Bitcoin and Ethereum. And when shitcoins first came in my life back in the day when Cryptopia was popular and everyone was trading on there, and you can look at the rich list, it shows you like the top wallets. And when you're in a debate with Richard Hart about blockchain and you're talking about Bitcoin, you're talking about Ethereum, a lot of these people that were outside of the blockchain world didn't do enough homework to even be on the same level to give them a chance. So the next one we're going to listen to right now is going to be with Tone Vays. Tone Vays has like no excuse in the world to get trampled on by Richard Hart. This is what you're thinking before this battle starts, right? Tone Vays is like the Bitcoin maxi. He is like the head in charge. He does the scammy awards and all that, and about all the altcoins that were scams. Richard Hart's one at Trayvon. And Tone Vays, the moment that Richard Hart went from a Bitcoin maxi and then started loving, Ethereum and appreciating smart contracts, Richard felt that Bitcoin was just like old tech and you can't do anything with it. He realized that, and he got involved with Ethereum and was like, well, let me make my own Ethereum token, and then eventually is on blockchain. So he's going to battle it out with Tone Vays. We'll watch this. But this right here, this debate I go back when I first saw it, and I go, okay, I've watched Tone Vays for years. And when I watched Tone Vays was when I primarily first started investing in Bitcoin. I was introduced to the very first blockchain that ever existed. And I was buying Bitcoin and listening to Tone Vays. There wasn't a Richard Hart voice in my head at the time. So I'm thinking, I'm buying Bitcoin, I'm buying the future. But then when Ethereum came out, I started disliking Tone Vays because I was like, Ethereum smart contracts, like this is innovative, and they're all just like calling it a scam. I'm gonna take a look at the chat real here, see what anybody's got to say. Miners got wrecked in Titan X. People are still going on about Titan X. A little argument there. It's all good. Whatever you think, man. I mean, Titan X got some undeniable numbers, and if you ain't seeing it, you ain't. Maybe you're at a third, fourth grade math level. It's not hard, but we'll go through that in the live stream because sometimes people just don't know. Some people don't know. So let's look at this debate between Bitcoin Maxi Tone Vays and Richard Hart. Where Richard Hart, listen, this guy's on his level as far as knowing blockchain. So it's not like when he took on Alex at the beginning here, then he took on Kevin and annihilated them. Tone Vays is the man, the Bitcoin man, right? So let's tune in.
Tone pretends to be able to predict price and pretends to be good at things so that he charges you for them. I charge you for nothing. I offer better price calls than he does, and I offer better performance than he does. And I don't delete my calls. He may not either. So just go and look them up historically. I called the 20K Christmas when the price was 4K. I called short at 19K. You can go verify this. He was wrecked the entire way, okay? Now, about giving people money. You can give him money on your credit card, on your PayPal, on your Bitcoin, anyway, because he's broke and he needs your money. I don't need your money. I retired in 2003. I give you free price calls, free chat, now free tokens, free self-help books. You can't pay me money. You don't know my Bitcoin address. You can't pay me credit card. I don't have any shopping cart where you could possibly pay me. So to be called a scammer by this guy that will do anything he can to make money, when I do everything for free as a retired serial entrepreneur, is absurd to me. Now, why he talks about crypto and pretends he knows what it's about, I'm actually building it. I'm actually designing it. When I first got into Bitcoin, it was free, and I mined it for free. And that's why I went all in on it after I got it for free. Now, the only people that are getting freemium onboarding is Ravencoin and Ethereum and Monero because you can mine it for free. And
damn. Okay, see, this is Richard, man. He got all the information and all the data in his brain, and he can just spit it out in a debate. And we'll watch Tone Vays. Like I've watched, like I said, Tone Vays for years. He's very articulate and has wrecked a lot of people in debates. But when you meet someone like Richard Hart, and then you're calling him a scammer, and you're saying this and that, it really, to me, he starts to shine in this moment here. We're going to hear what Tone Vays has to say, but everything he's saying about, look, man, I don't ask for money for people to give them calls. Tone Vays, on the other hand, the Bitcoin Maxi, selling courses for trading, promoting trading, margin trading, which people get wrecked. Like ladies, liquor, and leverage is Richard Hart's thing of like, don't do that. You're going to get rich, or you're going to get wrecked. You're going to lose it all. Ladies, liquor, and leverage, right? The 3 L's. And it started to surface for me. Tone Vays, like you do charge people. And then Richard Hart giving away all this free information, calling all these tops and bottoms, and all the free books, all the free content, not asking for anything in return. So it's interesting for that transition for me to go, man, like this guy is the real deal. Let's hear what Tone. Hey, Tone. See what Tone's got to say.
Tone, any replies?
If he had any money left, he wouldn't be printing money, right? So my guess is he went broke a little while ago, probably due to terrible trading, and now he has resorted to printing his own money and promoting it so he can get rich on the money that he's printing. What I do is I travel the world and I teach people how to trade. If you don't want to pay to learn how to trade, you can learn it for free. That's all it is.
can you imagine the tragedy of paying him to learn how to lose all your money? When you could lose all your money on your own naturally. I give better price calls than him for free. Period. Furthermore, Bitcoin cannot do time-locked interest. You can lock your coins in Bitcoin, you receive no rewards. If you want to replace the CD, which has $7.2 trillion in the United States and China, someone has to build it. I built it. It's open source. I give it for free to Bitcoin holders. We have 2 security audits from 2 different companies and 1 economics audit. And one of the auditors is tied for top best auditor in the world for Solidity contracts. This guy cosplays and talks about crypto, but when someone actually tries to make the world a better place and tries to give you something for free and try and let you buy a new thing that could go very high when Bitcoin's already 10,000, you're buying my bags I bought for 30. The people who get rich in Bitcoin are 3 people. Shills who make money selling you stuff with no risk. People that enable the shills, margin trading places, of which I told you my link earlier, right? And token founders.
Tone, you lead down.
Damn. Yeah. RH, bro. I mean, it's always fire with this guy. And Tone is just like in a position where I think like intellect versus intellect, he has nothing like smart to say other than sticking to like you're printing your own money. And this is before like the 10,000X, right? Where Richard's like promoting HEX and going out there and doing this. And really, if you would have listened to Richard and bought HEX like I did, the month after was like the best time to buy it. We all saw the gains that happened. And Tone Vays is over here pitching trade and margin trading. Like trading's like you can get lucky and do good, but when you have a bad day, whoo-wee, man, it's hard to stomach. It's hard to stomach. So let's keep listening on. This is what I need. Let me take a look at the price going down. See, I could stomach that a little bit better right now because I know the founder is a very smart man. And I got to remind myself, he's been saying it for years. This is what cryptocurrencies do. They have a parabolic run, bear market happens, and they go down 90, 95%, 100%. It was already put out there by him. It should have been expected. I think a lot of us forgot. Let's jump back to chat, see where everybody's at. No one's really talking in the chat. We got 21 viewers. Anyone's got any questions and remarks, let me know. We'll answer some questions as we go along. We'll keep checking the chat. And let's take a real quick look at Ethereum. Are we gonna keep dipping? We recovered a little bit. Boom, boom, boom. All right, let's go back to RH, Richard Hart versus the Bitcoin Maxi, Tone Vays. Let's hear it, Tony. Let's hear it, Tone.
This new cryptocurrency can help Bitcoin.
So apparently Richard's solution to the financial problems isn't Bitcoin. It's more free perpetual interest at what? 7% a year, 10% a year? Are you at BitConnect's rates of 1% a day yet? When are you gonna do that? When are you gonna offer people 1% interest a day?
Bitcoin miners get paid to push the price down because that's the security model. Every single Bitcoin that exists, the 18 million coins that exist now, nobody that did anything honorable or ethical was given those coins. The developers were not given those coins. The people that marketed were not given those coins. The only people that received those coins were people that sold them on market to pollute the environment by buying electricity. Now that's necessary because that's a security model. But I can get the same security for pennies on Ethereum without paying $1 million an hour to miners that then use that money to attack that network with a fake Bitcoin and try and convince people to buy a fake Bitcoin, which is what Bitmain did, okay? Having a free currency that doesn't overpay miners and is based on staking, so we're a proof of work hybrid. Our inflation rewards are based on proof of stake, you locked up your coins, but our transactions are proof of work because that's the only thing that's safe.
So you really think that proof of work is failable?
No, it is an extremely expensive and reliable and trustful thing. It's the best thing that we have, but it is terrible, and it's terrible for the environment. I hope we find something better. We don't have anything better yet, so we do use proof of work for our transactions. Here's the important point. If you want the world to be a better place, you have to replace all of traditional finance with open source, peer-to-peer, trusted systems. I built such a system. He did not build such a system, and Bitcoin didn't build such a system, or would have more than the 2.8 million users total that have $1,000 in a wallet. That is absolutely pitiful adoption.
Damn. So you gotta listen how deep he gets, man. He talks about Bitcoin adoption being pitiful. He mentions the proof of work. At the time, Ethereum was proof of work. They went from POW to POS, proof of stake, right? So Ethereum has evolved and has brought the adoption, right? and they've upgraded. So they went from proof of work to proof of stake, and they're onboarding people to use crypto, whether it's on DeFi, decentralized applications, meme tokens, utility tokens. They're onboarding more than what Bitcoin would have done on its own, which was having a major adoption issue years ago, right? People now buy Bitcoin as a store of value, and then they look for alternative areas to make like massive gains where they'll be like, let me keep my Bitcoin stack as like a retirement type of deal. Over time, it'll go up. People are starting to realize over time, it'll go up with these halvings. And, Ethereum is where the real onboarding is, and why cryptocurrency today is at the levels as far as market cap, as far as new users. All the volume is because of the Ethereum smart contracts. The Ethereum network brought all that. That's why he chose to build on Ethereum. And he's always said, like, it's old tech. Bitcoin is old tech. It really is. Double check the chat really quick here before we go into the next video. Yeah, dog, what's going on? Missing the destruction. RH, come back. Yeah, man, RH, come back. You can put it all on me. The FOMO will be real when RH starts streaming again. Right? When this man returns. Oh, sweet baby Jesus, please. All the crypto gods out there that are listening. Just imagine that feeling, right? I'm trying to bring you back to the feeling that we had before we went into Pulsechain. The feeling that we had during the glory days of HEX going parabolic. All the things that were like, this is a no-brainer. Toss, everything I got in this was the words of this man, everything he taught us. And then the SEC came and like he just, he disappeared. Now he's on Twitter. And we hold on to that, we were every tweet, we're looking at it and trying to dissect it. Imagine the day he comes out, man. It's like, what can I compare to that? It would be like Tupac coming back from the dead. It was like Tupac ain't dead. All the conspiracies, right? And I'm like a 7-8-year-old boy, 10 years old, thinking Tupac's in Cuba. But it would be big. This would be massive for the community because it needs it. And I think if I layer it all together, and I think like this, I think when he believes, when he feels that everything is resolved, the market is washed out, I don't think he wants to sit there and hear all this feedback that he's already told us. Like, this is what crypto does. It dips. I think he comes at the right moment, and that hype comes in with a huge injection. Imagine Ethereum. Take a look at the price of Ethereum. Remember, Pulsechain's a massive leverage on this. $2,400, and then it's like $7,500, $8,000 peak bull market. He sells injection into Pulsechain, buys up assets like HEX and Pulse, it goes parabolic and starts streaming. There's no telling what that could bring. Because me just watching this, I'm stomaching these dips like, okay, this is all good. This is what he's prepared us for. He's basically said, when this happens, this is when you buy. And I've lost sight of that sometimes. And that's why I'm still buying. I'm going to buy it at lower prices. I started selling my HEX stakes to go into DAI and wait for the 0035. I want to catch 0032. If I can get 003, right, that'd be perfect. But we'll see. We'll see. Definitely, I think a lot of Hexicans and people that are holding on by a thread or, feel the emotions that most of us feel need to just go back and listen, right? Let's listen to this one. This is where he takes on like 3 people at once.
And you
Yes,
have failed
he
to
can.
answer the question.
3 on
But
one.
it's not. No, it's improbable. It is improbable. It would be very hard for him to do. I'd put his success likelihood at like 5%. It's doable.
What you have failed to explain is that the Bitcoin network provides the purest form of democracy. Sorry, Svetsky, I know that
No, it's not.
word makes you cringe.
No, it's not.
Stop. Let me finish my point.
The
You have
third
to have a
debater has
50%.
arrived. I'm sorry to interrupt you, sir.
You are on my show.
I know. Go ahead. Take your time. I got all night, man.
You have to have a 50% consensus to make any of these changes. While Michael Saylor may have introduced certain things to influence mining, so too has Jack Dorsey, and allow the public markets to dictate that. I will not allow for some bold, brandish claim just so that you can get some views or likes. That's not going to happen on this show.
Come on, bro.
You have not refuted the point.
I just I just told you that it is very improbable, and I have it at like a 5% success rate. You're also you're lying about the network. Okay, you're lying about the network, but you don't realize it because you don't have the technical chops. You do not need 51% attack to consensus. Consensus attacks happen at much lower rates. They're just not as likely successful. You can have consensus attacks with 31% of the mining power, which, by the way, Ethereum already has ways to get rid of proof of work attacks.
Sustain it, you need to be closer up to 80% though. So again, these are all discussions about probabilities.
It doesn't matter because the problems you have are code problems, not hash problems. It's stupid to talk about. Michael Saylor's not going to blow his bag out. The miners aren't going to blow their bag out. These are improbable events, but there's no reason to say they're not impossible. It's the same reason when you guys like you say that it's unconfiscatable, but then the government's selling the confiscations every week. It's disgusting. It's a lie.
So
use correct
probability
language.
of someone shutting down HEX? What happens if someone caps you?
Oh, nothing. I'm more decentralized than Bitcoin is. Yes.
Okay, well, this part's going to get interesting here because they're going to talk about the decentralization differences between Bitcoin and HEX, right? And just listen carefully because it's like one of those things where, okay, Bitcoin is not fully decentralized. HEX is a little bit more, is what he's going to explain. But really, like, there's control, right? You got the massive, hash power problem going on, centralized hash power going on with Bitcoin. And I think what he's not mentioning, what he's going to talk about here is like the OA address and how that person, owns all those tokens, which makes it like a centralized entity, but it's always been a good actor. So this is what they're going to break down.
Oh, really?
Yes, 100%. Let me explain to you why.
Centralized in Bitcoin?
Yeah, definitely explain that one.
Oh, easily. No problem. So let's take DeFi, decentralized finance, usually 100% scam in its term. It's usually not decentralized at all because you need to be able to go to a front end and actually use the front end when stuff goes wrong. And most decentralized projects aren't actually decentralized. There's admin keys and there's one front end run by one guy. And if that guy turns it off, everyone's screwed until they go write a new one. So if I die and hex.com goes offline and go.hex.com goes offline, there's 5 other teams that independently, totally unrelated to me, built their own front ends and their own hardware and their own direct ledger integrations, their own direct Trezor integrations. All that stuff was done at launch. We had full sufficient decentralization at launch.
5 teams is your decentralization?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
That's your claim that it's more decentralized than Bitcoin? You have 5 independent.
How many Bitcoin mining pools are there? How many miner hardware companies are there?
Correct, right
You
there.
need to look at your own house, brother. And let me teach you something else about decentralization. There's something called.
By the way, I hate Alex Machine. I used to tell him I wanted to fight because he's like into martial arts. I'm like, bro, I'll take your ass on. He never replied back to me. That offer's still on the table, bro. I will fight you in an MMA environment. Maybe like that. What's that karate thing BitBoy does? That'd be fun. But cannot stand this dude. I haven't seen much of him lately, though.
Just-in-time decentralization. So let me give an example. Infura went down. Did Ethereum go down? No. Do you know why? Because we were ready for it. You literally click in MetaMask a single box that says network. You click add, and then you copy-paste someone else's node in there. You can run your own node if you want, but you don't have to. There's 10 other guys that have their own nodes running. So let me give you more proof. EOS has 21 nodes. Have they been going down? BSC has 21 nodes. Have they been going down? Everyone is centralized out the yin yang in low double digits because it's more than enough because regulatory attacks aren't occurring. And if regulatory attacks were occurring, we would use the social consensus to change the proof of work or change the number of validators or change which validators were valid. The same way if if the government decided to impede the 5 guys that'll sell you a Bitcoin miner, of which maybe 2 or 3 could possibly be profitable. If the government decided to strike those guys down, you could do a proof of work change, which is the same proof of work change that you should already have written as Ethereum has, because the EU almost.
Now, I want you to think about this. It's hard enough to debate one person, like a one-on-one, right? That debate is 2 hours and 28 minutes long, and he's going against 3 people at a time. 3 people. And I've watched that entire debate, I would say 10 plus times. I could probably memorize every scene, everything. That's how much I watched it. I would not be over exaggerating to say 10, maybe even 20, from start to finish. And he is just so skilled that they knew it was going to take that many people to just match Not only his voice and his power and his knowledge, but just to put up an argument because he knows that much more than the average Joe. Let's go to the chat. What's going on? Miss Dog, what's up? Ryan Torres, thank you for joining, bro. Thank you, you loyal subscribers there. The FOMO will be real when Richard starts streaming. Like, pound the like button. And he says, Lucky B, I remember these clowns. Yeah, man. I remember these guys. They attacked him hard, and I think we're going to watch him with Peter Schiff. This is the gold guy. This is Peter Schiff. And you know what? Richard beats him in this debate, based off my opinion and many others out there. But you got to remember, Peter Schiff is like old school. So Peter Schiff is not wrong about gold, right? Like gold, buying it since when he was a kid all the way to now is a very smart investment as far as using it as a retirement. That's his vision with gold, buying it as a retirement. Richard's arguments, like in recent events, he would be better off buying Bitcoin and then ultimately buying HEX versus the performance of gold. But you got to look at it this way, like when you're somebody like Peter Schiff's age, I don't feel like after the age of 50, you should be dealing with like meme tokens and all that. Like you shouldn't blow all your money, right? You got to de-risk a lot and have smart investments so that you make it to the promised lands of retirement, right? But when you're younger and you have an opportunity to go for it, you lose it all. Let's say in your 20s or in your 30s, you have time to rebuild to continue moving forward with retirement. But I do like Peter Schiff's, like, gold is a commodity, man. And with the hyperinflation happening, gold is probably going to steal the show, but Bitcoin will as well. Will assets like HEX do that? I think they'll do very well because Ethereum will do well and cryptocurrency as a whole. So it will lift everything with it. But let's watch this part here. We'll jump in the chat really quick, see if anyone has anything to say before we hop into here. Let's take a look. Peter goes first. He's a smart guy. Well respected out there in the commodity industry when it comes to buying gold, platinum, silver, you name it.
That price might not exist tomorrow when people no longer want to gamble, when the illusion wears off.
I called the top on the day. I called the Bitcoin top on the day, and I've done this 2 cycles in a row. While everyone else is telling you about $100,000 Bitcoin, $1 million Bitcoin, I'm telling you that this is the top, and I published the chart. And I've done that 2 cycles in a row. You call the top every single day because you're a noob speculator that doesn't know about technical analysis, that doesn't know about fundamental analysis, that's never minded Bitcoin, that's not as successful in business as me. You're a noob.
So
you are a noob.
Where's the next low then for Bitcoin?
Traditionally, Bitcoin drops 85% after a parabolic blow-off top. This cycle was different because the government, it should go down to about 11K. So since it was...
That's a reasonable expectation.
That was the 11K and pray prediction by him. Obviously, we went to like 15,000. So, he's predicted from the top, 85%, 95% dips. So he was close. He was as close as he's going to get because now we're in the, 60,000, 58,000?
Agree. Yes, because it's what it has been doing for decades. It always drops 85%.
What's going to happen to HEX?
HEX continues to have giant dips like it always has, but it also makes new all-time highs. You got to understand that an 80% dip only can't...
Hold on, pause. You guys know that since HEX came out, it's always had these big dips and made new all-time highs. So imagine on a big mega dip, because go look at the history of HEX. It always has had these crazy volatile dips and then makes new all-time highs. So imagine, right, looking at this price today, imagine this being like the ultimate dip and it's shooting up and making new all-time highs. The amount of X's you can get out of that. It's happened over and over and over. It's in the history books. You can go see it in the chart. Right now, we've just been projecting down, 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 down. But when this bad boy recovers, I'm just saying. These are things that he's talked about years ahead of time before where we're at today. This is why videos like this make me confident. I'm like, I gotta buy the dip. You start to go from being scared of the dip to my biggest fear is like, I need to buy enough all the way down.
cancels out a 5x pump. And when you have a 1,000,000% pump, you would have to drop 99999999999% to cancel it out. And,
but just because Bitcoin or HEX has come back from a previous crash doesn't mean it's going to come back from every crash. Because one crash may be the final crash.
No. There's scientific laws to describe
so you're saying that so HEX is guaranteed to go up?
No, it goes up and down all the time. It just tends to go up more than down. It's dropped 75% like 5 or 6 times.
But it could drop 95% or 99%
absolutely.
or 100%,
yes.
can't it? And it may never
HEX
come
could
back,
literally, it's unlikely, that last part. The last part's unlikely.
Well, yeah. See, what are the odds? I mean, I think it's more likely than not.
I mean, look at, you have to, well, I'll tell you. There's a coin that was literally made as a joke in an afternoon that is inferior technology called Dogecoin. Dogecoin is a copy of Litecoin, and Litecoin is a copy of Bitcoin. And basically, the difference between Litecoin and Dogecoin is they changed the logo, and they made it inflate more. And it's actually, they don't even have their own miners. They're merge mined with Litecoin, and Litecoin's trash on its own. So it's a copy of trash. And I don't even like Bitcoin that much. People say Bitcoin's never been hacked. Yes, it has. The network was forked once. Somebody printed 6 billion extra coins. There was another hack that could have been executed 2 years ago where anyone could have minted as many free Bitcoin as they wanted, but the developer responsible disclosed it instead of just minting all the free Bitcoin. I tell people the truth about the prices, that every cryptocurrency drops 85% more often than people wished, except for stable coins, and they have huge counterparty tail end risk. I'm very honest about the price risk. I'm very honest about what these things can and can't do. Bitcoin's trash technology. It has very...
You see, that's why I need to go back and listen, because this is what I do, man. This is where I restore my confidence in the entire ecosystem, is knowing that the founder has been saying that this is what happens. This is what happens. And you're not going to get that in any other token. You're going to go into the Telegram group and any investment you're on, and you're going to see all the people going with the wrong mindset. Go on Telegram and any token. 10 million market cap incoming. Huge reversal coming. Just wait till the bull market. All sorts of things where their mindset's like, it's not in the right place. People should be like more like the HEX community should be at this point. But I think a lot of us have been shucking out from our mindsets, let alone our bags too, where we need to be telling ourselves like, this is what Richard has prepared us for and taught us for years and years and years through like 2 cycles now. And it's not a matter of fearing the worst. It's a matter of preparing. And how do you prepare is figure out a way to be able to accumulate more or to hold on if you can't buy more. And I'm going to keep watching. And I'm done playing the videos for you guys. I think you should go do your own homework and listen. And you're going to get the necessary knowledge and even tools, because he leads you to all these different tools that you can use to just step your game up, man. And then you can use this knowledge he gives and these pointers and these things that he talks about how what the markets and tokens are capable of doing up or down, and use that with all your other investments, whether the utilities or meme tokens. Because I think in recent events, I forgot, like I've been checking out of meme tokens and sold, and like hours later they pump, right? Instead of going back to the fundamentals of what I already knew, I get caught in my emotions because I haven't had Richard Hart there like I normally have. I'm just like, you feel like you're on your own and your HEX bag's down, your pulse, and then you're trying to make money over here. This is what crypto does. This is what crypto does. I'm getting the itch, right? RH. Thomas, thank you for a reminder. Buy the blood in the streets, even if it's ours. Julio, yeah, dog. Does the market cap matter to you? HEX is up to the right forever. Comment is painful to rewatch. Does market cap matter to me? If you follow Richard, market cap is just like a fake number. To be honest, that's what he's always said. It's interesting, I think, to understand why market cap is not such a big thing. and we'll take a look here. I'll use Nero for example, right? It's, to me, it's like a bunch of tomfoolery. Like, and here's the prime example. Nero on Ethereum, the community takeover token that I talked about recently, right? This one was the losing one at first. Now it's gaining momentum. $1.6 million in liquidity, $26.3 million market cap. If you go to the competing Nero, which they call the Cabal, this one was like over 100 million, right? And it had like 800,000 in liquidity. Right now it's 56.2 million with $608,000 in liquidity. So let's go back, look at the LP here. This has, for real, almost 3 times the amount of LP with a much lower market cap, right? Versus a market cap of almost double and much lower depending on the pool. It has different pools, by the way. But I'm just saying, like, these different pools and everything, like, the ratios aren't adding up here. Liquidity to market caps on most of these coins. Especially even when we look at, like, Sundog, like the number one meme token on Tron right now as far as market cap, $233 million market cap, $2.9 million in liquidity. So when this reaches a billion, you know, there's going to be a lot more liquidity. You can say, you know, it'll be 4x liquidity. Let's say it goes to 8 million market cap, $1 billion market cap, and what would that be? Like 8 million. Would it be? Let's see if that's 4x 3. So it would be roughly like 12 million in liquidity, $1 billion market cap. For all the holders, it wouldn't be enough for people to cash out. When people start cashing out, this will drop drastically and this will drop drastically. So we always look at this number like, oh, they're up so many X's. There's only going to be like 1 to maybe 5 wallets that'll cash out above $200 million market cap, because when they start selling, it's going to cut in half and the liquidity will cut in half. So as more people start to sell, this market cap will drop drastically. The price is very volatile. So like the market caps and liquidity have a lot to do with it as far as the ratios. That's why you can set your own market cap when you launch a token. You can make your market cap like $1 billion. That's why it ultimately kind of is fake, a fake number. And really, you can only cash out based on what's available in liquidity. And, you know, obviously the price and all that stuff, but it's trickery. You know, I think it's always been meant to manipulate you to go, oh, this is a $200 million market cap. Like, this is going to $1 billion. And there's just not a lot of money. If you go into Pulsechain, right? Kid screaming over there. Let's pull up. Let's take a look here. PulseX. Let's take a look at the PulseX pool here. So PulseX got $30.6 million in liquidity. $30.6 million. $2.3 billion market cap. And this price of 4 zeros and a 16, just back in February, it was, let's take a look here. Yeah, it was 4 zeros and, no, back in February. Let's take a look at the price. Let me not get this wrong. Let me pull back. We'll take a look. This is when I remember selling my wallets, and I was like, oh, I got lucky. Like, this was like one of the tops. And let's take a look. Let's be more accurate here so that we don't say something incorrect. So March, right? Yeah, my son was in beginning of wrestling, so it was around here. So in March, it was 4 zeros and a 7. And that's about, what is that? Like 3.5x, something like that, of where it's at. So that means the market cap was 3.5x bigger in the billions. And obviously there was more liquidity. So I find the liquidity on Pulsechain a lot more exit liquidity, if that makes sense to you. There's a lot more money to be distributed out, extracted, versus what you see like in meme tokens on Tron or on Ethereum. And that's the way that they've been set up by Richard Hart. He when he launched these tokens, he did it the exact way he probably thought it should in regards to market cap. But that's a lot of LP. I don't know if you can go on Deck Screener and see any LP pool this thick across any networks. I can look. Let's go to base and let's see for like one of the big behemoth meme tokens, Brett, how much liquidity is in this Brett token that went parabolic, right? 8 cents. This is the one everyone talks about. $792.8 million market cap, $2.7 million in liquidity. Does that make sense? Like, this is weird. Huge market cap. Let me move myself so you can see. Let me see here, because you weren't seeing. So I'll put myself a little bit right here. All right. So you look at Brett, $792.8 million market cap, $2.7 million in liquidity, in exit liquidity. So with that low of LP, it could definitely skyrocket 16, 20 cents, right? During a bull market, maybe even higher. But the LP is extremely low. Where the real extraction is when the price goes parabolic. You take a look, and we'll refresh it here. Pulsechain, $30.6 million in LP. Let's go look at anything in Solana. Let's look at the top token in Solana right now as far as volume. Right, this is the number one trading token, 178K market cap. Well, there's got to be a better one than this. I don't want to go based off of volume. Let me double click on this. That's the number one token. That's ridiculous. Let me just take a look again right now, because this is the number one token being traded based off like the volume and everything and poly numbers. $178,000 market cap, 217K in liquidity. Solana is turning into a joke. It really is. 1.4 market cap, 633,000. Like, there's not enough money for people to make. Only a few people make the gains up here. They sell, and then you're stuck with the bag here, selling for profits if you got down here. Let's take a look at ETH. Oh, bruh, this is like the hot one right now, right? Everyone, all the people on Twitter, on X are like, I told you about, bruh, 2x my money. 18.8 market cap, $18.8 million market cap. This is the big marketing of this token is, oh, the market cap, look where it's at. $514,000 of liquidity. 50% of that is paired up with ETH. So the real value token is half of this, which is like 250,000 plus of a real asset that's got real value paired up with the token that's practically worthless. Let's even look at the number two token. This right here, 5 million. See, that's a lot, but that ain't no 30.6 million. And this token's up right now, $60.4 million market cap. I don't even know how long this has been out. This came out today. This could be a skin. Don't go looking at these tokens, you know what I mean? I think the one that has the most LP on Binance Smart Chain, and maybe close to what Richard has, happens to be Bank Teller over here. Homie's got Trunk token, $8.4 million in liquidity over on Binance Smart Chain, $42.2 million market cap. There's money to cash out, right? Hopping over, what's another? We'll take a look at Tron. That's probably the last one we'll look at. We'll click on the number one token here. Number one trading token right now, $1 million market cap, $125,000. I mean, let's look at the token that one of the tokens I'm in, $13.7 million market cap, $895,000 in liquidity. There isn't real money out there to cash out, people. That's why market cap to me is like, it doesn't mean much. I mean, it does as far as like, oh, I called this at a $1 million market cap. It's 10x. Well, when it's 10x, let's see if 10 investors could extract 10x from there. It's going to be 2 or 3 people with huge wallets that extract that 10x, and the rest are 6x, 5x, 3x, and then you're like, whoa, that happened quick. Now I'm even. Oh wait, now I'm in the negative. That's crypto for you. That is crypto for you. So thank you, everybody. Hopefully you guys got the message that I wanted to deliver to you guys as far as when it comes to Richard Hart, and getting a little bit of that feeling back and revisiting some old streams and making you feel that confidence, that I think it's the most important time to build this confidence and to remember why you believed in him originally is during this time. This dip that's coming here in early September, it's going to come and go, and there's going to be volatility. The court case will come, a bull market will come, and don't be left behind. Don't be left behind. Do your research. Go get your, whatever makes you confident, whether it's listening to him like I'm saying I do, looking at the charts, doing the numbers. Don't forget to smash the like button, drop a comment, repost this all over X. We'll do will we do a live stream tomorrow? I'll probably wake up early and do a live stream. I want to do a live stream every day. Still mix up some videos. But live streaming it's fun. I never really did that before, so I'm glad that all those people that supported me, that are here in the comment section, yeah, man, it's all for you. So till next time, we shall do it again.